Continuing to follow breaking news this morning from the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yeah, the justice is ruling that colleges must stop considering the race of applicants for admission. In a 6-3 vote, the court ruling against plans of affirmative action at Harvard and the University of North Carolina. It was meant to benefit Black and Latino students and help campuses diversify their classes. But opponents had said it discriminates against other students. Let's take a live look right now. This is outside of the U.S. Supreme Court this morning, and as you can imagine, there are going to be people with opinions on either side of this that'll be gathering there throughout the day.
They are already gathering out there this morning, but joining us now live is Professor Jacobs. She is from the University of the Pacific, Professor Leslie Jacobs. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. Let's start with why this policy was put in place to begin with.
The policy by the schools is put in place to diversify their classes and have an educational environment where there are lots of different points of view.
Yeah, so now that this ruling has come down, a lot of folks are wondering, what will happen? Will there be less minority students attending college in the future?
Yes, well, certainly what's happened here, and one thing to point out is this decision was expected. The constitutionality of affirmative action in higher education for diversity has been hanging by a thread for a number of years. Justice Kennedy, when he was on the court, said it could possibly be okay in narrow circumstances. Now we've had a change in personnel, not unexpected, that we now have a majority of justices, 6 of them, saying no, under no circumstances can the schools show what they need to show to be able to explicitly discriminate on race. So that's what we need to emphasize. We're talking about explicitly saying we're taking race into account. We're not talking about policies that might have the effect of having people more diverse coming to the schools. And so the effect on schools now, and what we're talking about are both public schools and private schools, because private schools have to abide by this decision to the extent that they take federal money, but almost all of them take student loans. So same rule applies to both of them. They will not be able to sit in an admissions meeting and say, let's think about race. They're not going to be able to ask about it on the applications. But they are going to continue to be able to do outreach in certain sorts of ways. They're going to continue to be able to read essays that students write about their own personal life experiences.
Professor Jacobs, I want you to talk about your perspective as a professor. What does it mean for you to know that this has happened and it's obviously going to impact the students and the student body and the diversity, potential diversity of the students that you even teach? How do you feel about that?
Well, it certainly makes it more difficult for schools to be able to diversify their student body. I do need to point out, however, that we in California, at least as far as the public schools go, have been operating under a rule that prohibits taking race into account for a long time, since the initiative prohibited that. And so the public schools have become more adept at trying to diversify their student bodies without explicitly thinking about race. For example, the top 9% rule that applies that deals with racial segregation of schools. So the top 9% of all the public schools can be admitted to the UC campuses. That's something that doesn't explicitly take account of race, but it will have an impact on race because of the nature of the schools. And so I look and I say, well, as a private school where I teach, McGeorge School of Law, it's lost a tool of explicitly promoting diversity, but I'm confident that our admissions people, as the admissions people at other places, will try very hard to maintain a very diverse student body through means other than explicitly considering race.
All right, Professor Jacobs, thank you so much for your time.